From the snow-covered peaks in Nepal to the mystical jungles of Peru to the desert sands of Cairo and snake-infested tombs deep beneath an ancient city. Rare Collectibles TV has been long searching for lost treasures.
The things I do to find nice coins.
Rare treasures that have been hidden away in sealed tombs for thousands of years. These riches have been long forgotten, only to resurface today. A king's fortune in rare coins at prices not seen since King Tut ruled the lands. An incredible deal that came to be known as the Hunt for the Holy Grail, Episode 4.
Welcome to our preferred clients, my fellow collectors. Again, I get to talk about one of my great loves in numismatics because since day one, I recognized how really rare these coins were in exceptional condition. I'm talking about beautiful, fully struck mint state Franklins, either in brilliant condition or beautifully toned condition. And by fully struck, I mean with full bell lines, with all the bell lines on the Liberty Bell visible, fully struck as the mint intended, because that was one of the great problems with these Franklin half dollars. They would be weakly struck, and you would have a lack of bell lines on the reverse. And full bell lines are really important, just as they are with the Standing Liberty Quarter series, where you have the full head Standing Liberty Quarters. Mercury dimes, you have the full split band Mercury dimes, and so you have the full bell line Franklin halves. And today I have a small group. It's hard getting these coins, folks. And they're NGC Signature Series coins. Now, first of all, I worked with NGC on this because they're working hand in hand with me on the Franklin half dollars, recognizing these in the Signature Series. And NGC is really strict when it comes to grading mint state Franklins. And I've got one chart that we're going to start off with just to give you an idea of the difference in standards, comparing the PCGS populations and the NGC populations of a handful of dates. We'll start with the 48P at the top there. You can see that PCGS is graded 346 in MS65, NGC 458, so they've graded a few more in 6.5, but then look at full bell lines. PCGS and 6.5 full bell lines, over 3,300 coins, NGC only 1,200. That's a difference in the grading standards between the two surfaces. So let's just skip down to the 54S because that's where it's really obvious when you get to the mint state coins struck at the San Francisco Mint. Those S mints, the 54S, quite common in just MS65, over 6,600 graded at PCGS, over 6,100 graded at NGC, so they're about the same in MS65, but look at the full bell line numbers. 1,286 graded at PCGS, only 133 graded at NGC, about 1/10 the number. And this is primarily due to the fact that, in my opinion, NGC has a bit stricter full bell line standard. They want those bell lines really strong on both the top set and the bottom set. Now I'm going to show you just a handful of Franklins that are coins that I see all the time and I reject. Look, folks, I'm on the front lines, my fellow collectors. I'm on the front lines looking at a lot of ugly mint state Franklins to look for that needle in the haystack. And here are some typical coins I would come across or be offered that I would say, no, this is not Signature Series quality. Take a look at that 58D with the really unattractive mint set toning. Now, eye appeal is critical. To be in a Signature Series holder, the coin has to have eye appeal. And look at the 51D, again, just your typical speckled toning, not attractive. Now let's go down to those two coins at the bottom, which are PCGS coins, 54S's and 6.5 FPL. And you can see it has a lot of mottled toning, obverse and reverse. Very typical. A full bell line by PCGS, but it's not wouldn't be called full bell line probably at NGC. Here's another one to the right, again with similar kinds of toning issues, spotty, streaky toning, obverse, and the spots on the reverse, several small black spots. So those are the kind of coins I see all the time. Now here's what I have today. Take a look at this latest updated Signature Series Census. These are all the coins certified in NGC in Signature Series. And all the coins in red are coins that have had a coin or two added to their populations over the last 3-4 months. So I've graded a couple 48Ps since this last report, which I believe was in March. I've graded 166 FBL, but that's it for 48Ps. I've graded 1 or 2 48Ds, I believe 1 49P, no 49Ds, 1 or 2 49Ss, and you could go on down the page here, and you could see not too many coins over several months, and nothing in 6+ FBL or 6.7 FBL or 6.7+ FBL. These coins are so much more difficult to find in exceptional condition than, say, Mint State Walkers from the 1941 to 47 era. These coins are rare. Now, starting off, here's what I have for you today. Let's start off with the 1963Ds that I have for you. The 63D is one of my favorites. Take a look at one of these coins. Now, the 63D is the highest mintage Franklin in the series. They struck 70 or 80 million of them, but it's also the lowest quality. My favorite story, and I've written about it in several of my books, about the original bag of 63Ds that I bought. And they were all bank wrapped rolls. There were 200 rolls in their original bag of 2,063D Franklins. And I cherry picked the 200 nicest examples. I sent them in for grading. The highest grade I got was MS 64, not even a full bell line. Take a look at this coin. It's incredible. I only have 7 of these examples. They're only $475 a coin. I've only certified 28 to date. $475. And that's 6.6 FBL. It's an incredible grade. It's basically a perfect coin. You look at this coin up close. I've only certified 5 examples. Brilliant condition. This coin borders on the impossible. Fully struck with full bell lines. There are no fully brilliant examples that I've seen of 6.7 FBL quality. I don't believe such a coin exists. Here's the 63D. I have 2 examples. These are wonder coins. They're $4,795. You have the 2 payment option, only $23.97.50. 2 payments. And then finally, the highest grade I've ever certified. This is the only example, 6.6+ FBL. 6.6+ FBL, the one and only 6.6+ FBL 63D. This coin is $8,495, or 2 payments of $4,247.50. Now we come to another favorite date of mine, the 54Ss. Dealers and collectors like to ask a lot of money for these coins, even if they're not FBL. Here's a 53S and MS65, sold in auction for over $2,000, just an MS65. 53S, not a full bell line, just a 6.5, over $2,000. Here's one of 53S and 6.5, $1,700. Here's 53S also, 6.5, not an FBL, $3,695. Here's one, 53S, 6.5, $4,720. Here's one in 6.6, $19,500. And here's one in full bell line, a 6.5 FBL that sold many years ago for $32,200 in auction, a 53S. But to get it in full bell line, I showed you that first chart. NGC has only graded 133 examples in 6.5 FBL. I've only certified in Signature Series, the 54S is one of the key dates, only 18 coins. I've got 2 to offer today. 2 54Ss in 6.5 FBL. Take a look at these folks. They are magnificent, fully struck, Beautiful, brilliant surfaces, conservatively graded. They're only $895 a coin to our preferred clients. These are all below price guide. And then 66 FPL. I've got two examples. You can see that example has some very attractive toning around the periphery. These coins are going to have either brilliant surfaces or have some really attractive color toning. And this is like a Michelangelo, so tastefully toned around the periphery in such delicate colors. You got blues and orange and honey gold around there and dashes of crimson and violet. A stunning coin, and the other specimen we have is fully brilliant. And these coins, each one is only $4,495 or two payments of $2,247.50. Now finally, I have the 54S that I never thought I'd see. I've never seen a 54S that I would call a perfect coin. And this comes as close as I'm ever going to see, folks. It's conservatively graded as a 6-7, and it's fully struck with full bell lines, bold bell lines. Look at this coin. It's a 54S, conservatively graded. That's why it's in a signature series holder. It is a wonder coin. The one and only 54S 6-7 FPL. This coin today is only $23,500. It is irreplaceable, or three payments of $7,833.33. This most magnificent, brilliant 54S, one of a kind. And finally, my last full bell line, a 54D. $20,900. It's the only one certified, fully brilliant condition. Also, virtual perfection, $20,900 or three payments of $6,966.67. I have three 53S's in MS67 with nearly full bell lines. Now you could see what dealers were asking for these in MS65 and MS66. Some of them were asking over $10,000 for MS66s because they had nice strikes. These are really well struck. MS67s, the highest grade. Beautiful color on this piece. And you flip it over, nearly full bell lines, just right at the crack there. You can still see the bell lines, but they're not quite bold enough to get a full bell line designation, but very well struck. And the next coin, which is fully brilliant, very similar strike, bordering on full bell line, MS67. Look at this. Sasha tilts it around. You could actually see the bell lines at the bottom, but again, they're not quite bold enough to get the FBL designation. The price guide on these is over $9,000. I've got these coins, preferred client special, either one for $8,500 or three payments of $2,833.33. So you get to cherry pick my finest inventory. These are the coins that I work for. I've got so many thousands and thousands of Mint State and Proof Franklin halves. And I look at so many tens of thousands of Mint State Franklin halves every month. And the coins you are seeing are the cream. This is the very best. You're getting first crack, the preferred clients at RCTV, using my years of experience, my work, to cherry pick the jewels from the Mint State Franklin series. Again, the Mint State Franklins were struck in very small numbers. They had very, very low mintages, with the exception of the 63 P and D. All the rest of the Franklins had very low mintages, and most of the coins went into circulation. Very few original rolls were tucked away. And when you do find an original roll, they're usually really baggy. As I mentioned, that complete bag I had of 63 Ds with 200 original rolls, and not a single 6.5, let alone a 6.5 FPL in the entire bag. I lost several $1,000s on that deal. So that's what I have to go through to find the kind of coins I'm offering you today. I hope you can take advantage of this. This is a series for the future. They're extremely underrated simply because most dealers and collectors do not really understand how truly rare they are in exceptional full bell-line condition. And that's what my presentation is all about for you folks watching today. Thank you.